When Jungkook returned to the mansion, as soon as he entered, Jungkook said calmly, "Jungkook, in the afternoon we will go meet your uncle." Your eyes reached up instantly. Why? Really? Jungkook nodded once, yes. Then he turned and left the room. He stood there for a moment, smiling to herself. You quickly went to change her clothes. You took a dress from the closet and started to remove the one he was wearing. But the moment you raised your arm, pain shot through it. You winced softly. Before you could try again, a hand gently reached out. You looked up. Jungkook was standing behind you. Why you began. Jungkook, he murmured softly. Carefully he helped slide the dress off your shoulders. You felt a shiver run through your body. You didn't know where to look or what to do. Jungkook's attention was completely on your injury. The bandage was still wrapped around your chest. Slowly and carefully he removed it. Your lips trembled slightly, your heart was beating faster, and you didn't even understand why. Jungkook examined the wound quietly. It had begun to heal. Without saying anything, he applied a thin layer of medicine over the scar, his touch gentle and precise. "Jungkook, you won't need heavy bandages anymore," he said quietly. He wrapped a lighter bandage around it. When he finished, you noticed something. You had your eyes closed, your breathing was uneven. Jungkook paused, then slowly leaned closer. He placed a soft kiss on your lips. Unexpectedly, you kissed him back. For a second, Jungkook froze. Then he gently lifted you into his arms, still kissing. He carried you toward the bed. When the kiss finally broke, he looked at you carefully. He was scared, but he wasn't afraid anymore. Seeing that, Jungkook leaned down and kissed you again. Evening arrived. You sat quietly in the car. After what happened in the morning, you could not bring yourself to look at Jungkook. Every time you remembered it, your cheeks turned red with embarrassment. Jungkook sat beside you silently, his expression calm as always. Finally, the car stopped. The driver opened the door. You step out and look around. Your brows furrowed. It was a house, but not the one where your uncle used to live. Where are we? You asked. Jungkook, at your uncle's house, he replied. You look confused. Why? But this isn't their house, Jungkook. You will understand when we go inside. You started walking toward the door, but Jungkook stopped you by lightly holding your arm. Jungkook, don't go in yet, he said quietly. Listen first. From inside the house, voices could be heard. Mr. Park sighed heavily. Mr. Park, spend the money carefully. We're almost out. Mrs. Park replied irritably. Mrs. Park, of course it will run out. The moment we got the money, you bought the luxury house and keep spending everywhere. Mr. Park groaned. We already sold everything that belongs to Wyatt. There is no backup left. Mrs. Park clicked her tongue. Mrs. Park, life was better before. We always had someone working for us for free. Now even that is gone. Just then Gio came downstairs. Gio, Dad, the university is asking for my tuition fees. Mr. Park rubbed his face. Mr. Park, we don't have any money left. We will have to live like before again. Gio, what? She shouted in disbelief. Mrs. Park sighed. Those days are over. One left through. Gio scoffed. You should have saved some money instead of wasting it. At that moment, they heard footsteps. All three of them looked toward the door. You stood there, and beside you was a tall man they didn't recognize at first, Jungkook. You look completely different now, elegant, confident. Gio's eyes widened. Gio, why? Your voice trembled slightly. Why? Mr. Park quietly stood up. Mrs. Park, why? Why are you here suddenly? Your eyes filled with tears. Why, uncle, why did you hide all this from me? If you had asked, I would have given everything willingly. Why did you do this behind my back? Mrs. Park crossed her arms coldly. Mrs. Park, did they kick you out of your job or something? Listen, we don't have space here. Our life is already difficult. He broke to tears. Why, I didn't come to stay. I came to see you with my husband. Gio laughed mockingly. Gio, husband? Don't act innocent. The moment you leave, you seduced the owner's son, didn't you? Your sir screams at the cruel words. Tears streamed down your cheeks. Suddenly Jungkook spoke. Jungkook, enough. His voice was cold words. Within seconds, several men entered the house. The Park family froze in fear. Jungkook looked at them with a calm and dangerous gaze. Give them a special guest treatment, he said slowly. After all, they are relatives from my wife's side. Mr. Park immediately panicked. He knew very well that he had sold you into a Mafia family. Mr. Park was, please don't do anything, he begged. Jungkook's expression didn't change. Jungkook, I don't lack sympathy, he said coldly. Then he turned toward you. Jungkook, let's go. The Park family desperately tried to call out to you as you walked away, but this time you didn't look back. You returned to the mansion. The moment you stepped inside the room, the reality of everything hit you. Your uncle and Gio's cruel words. The people you trusted your whole life had betrayed you. Your chest felt tight. Tears slowly filled your eyes again. Before you could stop them, Jungkook gently pulled you into his arms. Jungkook cried. He said quietly, you broke down. You buried your face into his chest and cried for a long time. Years of trust, love and pain pouring out all at once. Jungkook didn't say anything. He simply held you. His hand slowly stroked your hair, letting you cry until you had no tears left. Eventually, your sobs faded, your breathing calmed. Jungkook gently wiped the remaining tears from your cheeks. Jungkook, sit here. He said softly, I will be back. He went downstairs. A few minutes later, he returned with a tray of food. He was sitting quietly on the bed. Jungkook placed the tray beside you and sat down. Jungkook, eat. You shook her head weakly. Wine, I'm not hungry. Jungkook looked at you for a moment, then picked up a spoon without another word. He had it in front of you. Jungkook, open your mouth. You hesitated, but then slowly obeyed. Jungkook fed you patiently until you finished the food. After a moment of silence, he spoke again. Jungkook, you are going to school. You blink in shock. When school? Your voice was small, but I can't study. Jungkook looked at you seriously. Jungkook, you will learn. He paused before continuing. Jungkook, you will study like everyone else. You stared at him, disbelief shining in your eyes. Wine, really? Jungkook, yes, he replied calmly. One day you will graduate too. You smiled. Without thinking, you wrapped your arms around Jungkook in a tight hug, all the sadness momentarily forgotten. Jungkook froze for a second, then he gently kissed your forehead. Years later, 7 long years passed, years filled with struggle, healing, and countless small victories. The fragile girl who once believed she could never even read had slowly transformed into someone strong, confident, and determined. You had worked harder than anyone, and through every step of the journey, Jungkook was there. He never mentioned the contract again, not once. At some point, it simply stopped existing. Everyone in the family eventually understood how serious Jungkook was about you. His parents stopped questioning it and quietly accepted you as part of their family, and you had grown up through. You understood everything now. The sacrifice, the protection, the silent love. Today was the day, your graduation day. The campus was filled with laughter, proud families, cameras flashing everywhere, students wearing bright graduation gowns walked around excitedly, celebrating the end of their long journey. But you stood quietly near the side of the hall. Your eyes kept searching the crowd. You was waiting for the person you wanted to see the most in this moment. You pressed your graduation cap nervously. Where are you? You whispered softly, just when disappointment started creeping into your heart. Wine. That deep, familiar voice made you freeze. Your head snapped up. Standing a few steps away was Jungkook. Tall, calm, dressed in a black suit, his eyes filled with quiet pride, and beside him stood your little daughter, holding Jungkook's hand. Gio, Mommy. The little girl shouted happily before running toward you. Your eyes waited in shock, then they filled with tears. You immediately leaned down and hugged your daughter tightly. When you came, we whispered, your voice trembling. Jungkook slowly walked toward you. For a moment, he just stood there, silently looking at you in your graduation gown. 7 years ago, you had said you could not study. 7 years ago, you believed you was incapable of becoming anything. And today, you proved everyone wrong. Jungkook's lips curved into a soft smile. Jungkook, I told you, he said quietly, you would graduate. Stood up slowly, tears running down your cheeks. But I could not have done it without you, you whispered. Before you could say anything else, Jungkook put you gently into his arms. Right there in the middle of the crowded campus, he buried your face in his chest, crying softly, not from pain this time, but from overwhelming happiness. You hugged both of you from the side, giggling. For the first time in your life, you finally felt like you had a real family. Jungkook rested his chin lightly on your head and whispered, Jungkook, I'm proud of you. You smiled through tears because the girl who once had nothing now had everything.